Hi, I'm Jenna. With the Mama OT lens, I'm a licensed occupational therapist offering my services for women in need. This includes cognitive behavioral therapy, breath work, and physical healing.
Hi, I'm Gloria, and I'm your warrior woman healer. I'm certified in sound healing, energy healing, crystal healing, and just assisting you as you start to heal yourself. I'm there to nurture and assist you as you heal whatever is no longer serving you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another podcast of Worthy Wellness. And today we have the pleasure of interviewing my co-host Jenna, who's an expectant mommy, and Marvin, and he is with ViaCord, and they are a company that does cord blood therapy. And it's a pleasure to have you both on today. And Jenna, you want to tell us a little bit about what's happening with you as you are an expectant mommy and due very soon?
Yes, so it is cord, blood, and tissue banking. And I learned about this through my OBGYN and Marvin, who's going to be on our episode to expand on educating on what it's all about. But this is the perfect opportunity because this is obviously retrieved once I give birth and labor, and it's retrieved from the cord, blood, and tissue, and it's a specific stem cell that could benefit the baby, a sibling, a grandparent. And I would love for Marvin to be the expert to educate you right now. But that's the main reason why I chose it, because counting down, I am due soon. And I was able to get a kit and get it ready. So they will be retrieving it from the hospital the day that Jasmine comes, baby Jasmine. So, Marvin, would you like to share?
Yeah, I got in this industry 18 years ago when my son Max was born, and I was happy working as a pharmaceutical rep. That's my background has been in pharmaceutical science for the majority part of my life. But 18 years ago, when my son was born, I remember looking at the OB at the delivery, and my son comes out, and the doctor looks at me and says, "Hey, what are you going to do with the baby's cord blood?" I looked at the doctor and said, "Well, what do you normally do with cord blood?" The doctor said, "Well, here we donate it. We donate it to the hospital." So at that point, not thinking anything else, we signed informed consent, donated, it was gone. A month later, I ran into a colleague out in the field, and she was asking me, "Hey, heard you had your baby. Did you guys bank your baby's cord blood?" I go, "Whoa, this is the second time I hear this cord blood banking word. What exactly is this?" So she went on to tell me about the stem cells, families that bank their baby's cord blood. They're preserving the HSC cells. Those are blood cells. And at that time, we only had blood cells that we were talking about. So I turned to her and said, "Wow, that's interesting. No, we didn't have that opportunity. We didn't get educated on it." So talked to my wife. My wife was upset a little bit. She was like, "Wow, I for sure would have kept it." And anything for the baby, right? So fast forward, get a call again from the same colleague. "Hey, we're hiring in Orange County. Are you interested in the position?" Did a little research. And since then, I have not looked back. It's been a great opportunity to be able to provide education to pregnant moms and families. And I do it because of Max's story. I don't want anybody to be caught off guard and not know what cord blood banking is or what stem cells are. So, Jenna mentioned an interesting point. When you are visiting your OB, it's very overwhelming. It can be. There's a lot of information that's being thrown at mom. If the partner is there with mom, they're both getting a lot of information. The perfect sweet spot for learning about cord blood banking is anywhere around 25 weeks of gestation. Or it could be pretty much at glucose. Glucose timing is ideal. This is a good opportunity to start talking and learning and discovering what cord blood banking is, what stem cells are. A lot of the times it's really easy to say, hey, stem cells are like bone marrow cells. People understand that. and that kind of gets the whole process to learn about these precious cells.
To educate the new mommies, the expectant mommies, do you have classes, webinars? When do you kind of step in, or do you step in at all? So let's say, a young woman's pregnant and she's about 30 weeks and the doctor mentions it to her, or she asks the doctor about it. Does the pregnant mom then reach out to your company, to someone like you, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, it's really simple. Once the information is either presented through the OB, and a lot of times it is presented, it's brought up anywhere from week 25 and on. Once information is brought up, there are pamphlets on what private banking is. This is family banking, so also known as private banking. There are three options that a mom or a family has. Option number one is to publicly donate. The largest blood bank in America is the New York Blood Center. There's a lot of information there. You can also get information on Be the Match. Just simply Google Be the Match and then put in cord blood. You'll get information for public donations. But once you publicly donate, it's gone. 70% of the units make it because they're of strict regulations. So that's option number one, is to publicly donate your baby's cord blood. Second option is to save it within a family a cord blood bank, and that's called family cord blood banking. And then your third option is to discard or throw away as medical waste. Sounds kind of harsh, but yeah, those are your three options. And this pretty much takes place so the doctor will pretty much mention, here's a pamphlet, you have three options. If you have any questions, you can follow up with me.
Well, that's great.
And so speaking of webinars, Gloria, that's how I was able to learn more about what cord blood and tissue banking is, because my OBGYN and Marvin hosted a webinar and I was able to sit in and learn about it. And this podcast episode is going to give other listeners the opportunity to contact Marvin. At the end, he could share his contact information, because I understand not OBGYNs are connected with the same companies. So if you are interested to learn more, you can contact Marvin, and they do invite for the webinars to attend on certain days to learn more.
Yeah, and Jenna, what's important about these webinars, they are hosted on a national level. ViaCord is a U.S. company, so we do have national, we have regional, and we have local webinars. These are live webinars and led by OBGYNs. These are ideal for Q&A and getting all the information that you want up front so that you can make an educated choice on what to do with your baby's cord blood.
I love that, because that was going to be my next question. If we have, say, in our office and we have a patient who comes in for acupuncture and she's interested in this, how can she reach you or the information? And, because we also have grandparents that come in that their daughters are pregnant, or daughter-in-laws or nieces, and, they'd love to have this information as well, especially being able to bank the cord blood of doing a family bank, so I like that information as well. I think our listeners would be very interested in that. And Marvin, what makes ViaCord different than other companies?
Like everything else, Gloria, there are differences among companies. So companies do matter. I'm going to take that bold step and say that, yeah, companies do matter. Three things that come up right off the top with ViaCord is the confidence and trust. Okay, ViaCord is a company. It's a Revity company. Revity is a publicly traded company. Actually, Revity is actually publicly traded, and we are a World Healthcare Organization. So you can get more information if you follow the ticker RVTY. Get more information on what we're committed to, which is healthcare. And Revity is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, and we are global. Our global presence is pretty much it's an amazing company. So you can just look. That's number one. Being backed, financial backing by a $3 billion company, which unfortunately most companies don't have that. Secondly, ViaCord is accredited by the American Association of Blood Banks. That was their formal. They just relaunched their new name, the AABB, and that's the Association for Advancement of Blood and Biotherapies. So we've got that backing for both cord blood stem cell preservation and tissue preservation. Secondly, the proven quality. We publish our transplant rates. We're at 88% success post-transplant. Families that have used their cord blood transplant and for transplant or for regenerative medicine, we've released units to families. So this is these stem cells are being used, which is it's amazing to me. I look back 18 years ago and we only had 20 transplants. Now it's close to 600, which for those families that did preserve, we publish our data, which is that's our second proven quality. And then a third reason that makes ViaCord stand out is our innovation. What we do with our cord tissue is very different. Most companies will preserve a tissue, will freeze a tissue. ViaCord does not do that. We actually what we do is we extract the stem cells from the actual umbilical cord itself, and we're able to characterize the cell and have them ready for use. We save them in a 5-chamber compartment bag. We do both for blood. We do that for the blood, and we do that for the cord tissue as well. And it's actually backed by the American Association of Blood Banks, which is their new name now is Association for Advancement of Blood and Biotherapies, which is a great accreditation to have behind you.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. I mean, I know that, more and more of the cord blood banking is helping so many families, just in what I was reading. And it's now being collected they're finding that it's helping with the immune system for patients with cancer treatment, and can be given to more people than those from bone marrow, the stem cells can. And I love that. It's helping so many people, and I love what your company is doing for families and for people that are really in need. It's amazing.
And Gloria, believe it or not, I forgot a fourth one. The fourth one is we have what's called the Sibling Connection Program. It's called the ViaCord Sibling Connection Program. And this program is designed for any family that's got a sibling that has been diagnosed with the 80 conditions or diseases that are out there. Say, for example, baby A is sick with a certain type of cancer. We will preserve the blood of the baby that's about to be born for free because we know that's a direct case in need. So we actually have what's called the Sibling Connection Program, where that is actually it's a free service to the family. So we always tell we like to inform our doctors that ask family histories, because you never know if they have a sick sibling, and if they do, this is a perfect time to collect that blood from the baby that's about to be born. It's called our Sibling Connection Program through ViaCord.
Wow.
So coming from the pediatric industry, I just wanted to kind of spin off of this, sibling and family topic. I worked in pediatrics as an occupational therapist for a decade. And I've seen families in tears wondering, what can we do? What can we do if our child has cerebral palsy? What can we do if they have autism or leukemia? And this is an intervention that could be helpful. And like you said, for siblings, so there's twins and one is needing help for whatever that medical condition is, and it's genetic. And when you look at interventions, I feel confident, and this is why I'm choosing it, because it's coming from our same genes. It's not, there's more benefits than there are risks. and it doesn't seem as invasive as maybe other interventions. And so that, from a personal level, is why I'm choosing it and going that route, because we never know when our baby needs it, or a sibling, or maybe a grandparent. And so, people that follow our podcast, they follow our nonprofit, they know that my mom had a double lung transplant, and with that, there was also her GI tract compromised. So we can implement it in different ways, and it's also that second phase of, how to administer it and whatnot, and that's, I guess, another day and another topic. But from a personal, professional perspective, it's a great opportunity in missing this boat of opportunity. And so I'm very confident in signing up, and that you guys are educated about it, because there's only that one time to make that decision. And that's why this is so important. And I'm so happy that you are on this episode today to share the information, Marvin, because there might be families out there that just have no idea. So thank you very much.
A pleasure. Now, I know I'd like to throw in that, families have been banking their newborn stem cells for, decades now. It's not a new thing. It's important to also note that there are families that have benefited from the decision to bank. And, one of the reasons why, or there's reasons why families, like you said, Jenna, earlier, there are reasons why families choose to bank. And those reasons are, one would be peace of mind. Just having that peace of mind that you have these miracle cells preserved. Also, today's proven uses. There's already there's proven uses where we're looking at cord blood stem cells as therapy. The ongoing research, obviously, is exciting. These cells are easily accessible. You mentioned something really important. To find a match is like looking for a needle under a haystack. It's most people never find a match. So to have the family, being able to access your family is one. It's easy. These are accessible, and I also like to throw in the newest innovations. With for example, with ViaCord, a couple of years ago, we did not offer genomic testing through the baby's cord blood. Now we do. So there's another reason there. And then lastly, just to keep this as a resource. It's a very valuable resource that you can keep it within the family.
Yeah, I think that this episode is going to touch a lot of people. It's going to really make people think, but kind of understand, like you both stated, that this is something that is important for families to be able to have that peace of mind, to know that they have something banked there in case of an emergency or someone gets ill. And I like that a lot as a mother of 5 and a grandmother of 7. I like the fact, if we could do that in my family, that would be wonderful. And I know that what, Jenna's going to be doing with her and baby Jasmine is going to be a blessing to a lot of her family as well. Marvin, your company is doing something miraculous. And I think when you are able to help families, have that peace of mind, that knowing that in case something happens, that they have that safe system already in place for them, and that's one less worry. Like you say, they don't have to go looking for that needle in the haystack. They have it already banked with your company, and I love that. I really, really do.
So we would love to know your information for the listeners to contact you, because they might be just as interested. How did they get a hold of you, Marvin?
It's really simple. We offer education webinars throughout the country. So again, for me, if you ever need to get a hold of me directly, my contact information is 714-381-2905. I can provide resources and references if you'd like. So that's my direct number. You can always email me at marvin.ron@revity.com. I know that's a mouthful there. Yeah, marvin.ron@revity.com. Or you can always call the 800 number at ViaCord. It's 866-258-5173. And in this information world, you can go to ViaCord.com or follow ViaCord's just information links that are out there.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that we might have missed about this process that you want to share before we wrap up to conclude, Marvin?
Yeah, I like to just remind anybody that's actually doing their research that there already are 80 proven serious conditions in the areas of cancer, blood disorders, bone marrow failure syndromes, metabolic disorders, immunodeficiencies. So you just never know. Duke University is doing a trial on cord tissue cells to treat autism. There's the cerebral palsy trials that are going on right now. And again, there's just a lot of information out there. I always like to also throw out there that there's www.clinicaltrials.gov that you can actually look in to see what trials are going on, because to keep up with stem cell therapies, it's a task, and for ViaCord families, they do get a newsletter. You are kept up to date on technologies and what's happening in the stem cell world, which is another cool thing to have. And in essence, and lastly, I'd like to just say that not all banks are the same. If you are out there considering to preserve your baby's cord blood, research the bank of choice. Ask questions. Attend a webinar. Cord blood banking is an investment. It's an investment in your family's health care. And I always like to say it's hoping you'll never need a unit, but thankful that it's processed in the highest quality and standard that you may need at some time. So again, I always like to throw that out because it's important to research and learn as much as you can. This information is done through discussing this decision with your partner, so it's very important. I'm glad that doctors provide the information and not make the choice for you. It's actually it's a decision that needs to take place at the family level.
Thank you very much, Marvin. And
thank you, Marvin. That was wonderful.
Well, thank you for having me today, Gloria and Jenna. It's been a pleasure to be here. And again, I think pregnancy is a super special and exciting time, which it should be. Along with that comes a lot of learning. And the unfortunate part is that we don't have a crystal ball, that's going to dictate our child's healthcare journey. So being prepared is paramount. So again, just do your research and educate yourself. Thank you for having me.
You can follow Worthy Wellness on Instagram. We are Worthy Wellness Inc., like INC. We are also on Facebook as Worthy Wellness, TikTok as Worthy Wellness Podcast, YouTube as Worthy Wellness. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode.